Hi everyone, welcome to this edition of Addington News, brought to you out of Spectators. Last week, Darren, really good race meeting here. Of course, the Garrard's National Handicap. Great to get that off the ground. About 10 starters we had in the end and a cracking contest we'll talk about shortly. But looking forward to the Allies Security Morris Holmes Vars next week. That for me really signals the start of the countdown to the IRT New Zealand Trotting Cup.
Yeah, well, that meeting we're calling the road to the New Zealand Cup starts here. So that's really kicks it off. Of course, we've got the Basildine as well, and as we've said, pretty much every 2 weeks is a feature race. But really good to get 10 horses underway. There's a lot more of them at the trials. The Falcon, Laver, the Telfer 2, Alta Wise Sky, and BD Joe are already here. So yeah, things are really starting to pick up, and as we'll see when we look at that video, Greg, even though there was a couple of breakers at the start, every horse was in that finish.
Yeah.
So a couple of them clearly needing the run by the looks of their performance. But they'll get tighter as we move forward, and it was a great way to kick things off.
Nominations have opened for the IRT New Zealand Cup, the Renwick Farms Dominion, and also the Graphite Developments Futurity. And tickets go on sale, public tickets from the 1st of September. So it's coming up pretty quick, isn't it?
Yeah, look, absolutely. You can register on the Addington website. We've got the Addington website here on the...
Here's a new tool.
Yeah, the big screen that we're using for a lot of events and people are hiring. This is the Addington website. Once you're on the home page or any page on the website, paging right to the bottom of the screen, there's a place there for you to register your name and address, and you'll receive all the information in advance. So that's a good way of being connected to when the information's coming out, apart from looking on the website yourself or the Facebook page.
All right, well, we're going to do a full preview of the race meeting shortly. A couple you might want to back, very unlucky last week. Hit the Beach goes round race 3, number 1, and move it on over race 10, number 7. We'll do the full preview. I want to have a bit of a play with this though. Let's go to last week's National, which was sponsored by Garrard's. And you see in this video here, Darren, here's the winning move. Mikey Maguire comes round to Terry. Sam Thornley, who's driving outstanding at the moment, says to Blair Orange, I want the front. Blair didn't want to hand to him. He did not want that to happen. And as we scroll this on, he eventually gets the front. And we know how good this horse is when he is in front. I think he's won 4 of his last 6 now. And once he powers up like this, Darren, he really just... he's got exceptional speed and he maintains it for a long time. And as we scroll this on to this point of the race, Blair Orange says, you know what, I reckon I'm travelling beautifully here with Terry. And he comes out and pops off his back and you think, oh, well, Terry's probably going to win this race. But this big horse trained by Fred Fletcher just keeps on rolling. And as we scroll it on just a little bit further, Darren, and they make their way into the straight, right about here, he's rolling home in a very good sectional, and you can scroll that up slightly and you'll be able to see exactly what that sectional was. 27.2, no wonder they couldn't run it down.
Yeah, look, I think the other thing just to have a look at here is Folklore, of course, missed the start, and so did DiCaprio being collided, or they both collided at the start. These horses this is the entire field, and they're all in the finish as we move down towards the finish of the race. DiCaprio, whilst he finishes at the back of the field, hasn't lost that much ground on these horses from where he was perhaps at the 800.
Flashing light on Cheezel as well, and Folklore, they both go around in the same race on Friday night, race number 8. So pretty cool tool this, if you ever want to hire it. Addington Raceway have it available, but yeah, great race last week and the start of what we're going to see here at Addington Raceway for the next few months as we build towards the IRT New Zealand Cup. Plenty of information coming out, but the website's the best place to go.
Yeah, I think what we'll do the next few weeks by using this tool is we'll take you through the website. We'll have a look at where Stride Master's located on the website. We're going to have tickets on sale and they need to be purchased online. We'll take you through the own Addington website where you can purchase those tickets, where you can look at all that stuff, and where you can look at a whole lot of other things, like where the trackside dining brochure is, if you want to have a look at menus, all that type of thing, and we'll try and show you some of that and look like we know what we're doing. Probably do the weather at some point, Greg, pretend that we're One Network News and I don't know, boom, there could be a storm coming in or something like that. Have a bit of a play with it, be a bit of fun.
Yeah, absolutely it is. But stick with us if you want to see the full preview for Friday night. We've got 10 races. The first of those goes at 5:26.
All right, let's have a look at the full meeting preview for this Friday night, the 19th of August. Race 1 is the IRT Your Horse, Our Passion Mobile Trot 1980, and we get underway at 5:26, Greg.
Yeah, really well-bred horse here, and I Will rather who was good first up, I thought. Plenty of improvement there, trained by Mark Jones, has a good barrier draw, mobile will be of assist. I think it'll be a nice each way and a good way to start the day. Rose Isle from Barrier 1, Barry Cruthers. He doesn't bring them to Addington Raceway too often, but I tell you what, she wasn't the worst first up either. Got a nice cosy run on the markers. She's going to get that again, and I think she'll be pretty competitive. She may find herself 3 back on the fence because we know where the fiery counties will be heading, and that'll be to the top for Alan Clark, and she's definitely getting better with racing. The other one I wanted to throw into the first fours is Matthew Eyre. We know he's pacing bred, but there's always been money on this horse since he started trotting and has now had 3 runs. I reckon once he really cottons on to it, he might be able to pick up a maiden win at pretty short notice. So race number 1, I'll mark them 2, 1, 8, and 9.
There's nothing wrong with those pacing bred trotters at the moment, Greg.
There's been a couple of good ones.
Yeah, a couple of them going around that are very smart. Race number 2 is the first leg of the early quaddie, the Avon City Ford Mobile Pace 1980 at 5:51.
Yeah, I thought Dance Till Dawn would be hard to beat off the back of a really strong trial where it beat its now stablemate Magic 4. Clearly got headed as they came around the bend and fought them all off. So from Barrier 1, Robert and Jenna Dunn, I expect a very big run from her. She's already earned close to $90,000. She went round in all of those good 2-year-old fillies races. And yep, I think she'll be hardest to beat. To beat 13 Giselle, trained by Matt Purvis. Is the winner of 7 races. So gets into this beautifully for the back rows. Not an easy position to start from, but she's racing really well. Major Memphis upset them in the last race last week, beat Bubba Scrub and just stormed home from last. And yeah, there's been a few people, some in the media, coming out and saying Addington Raceway's become a leader's bias track. Well, that defied that, didn't it? Came from last, sweep down the outside, a la probably 20 years ago, and did it in good style. And Mossdale Mac, the other one I thought had a chance. You've got Ferns Goldie, who upset them the other day. Frank Burns. It's not a bad field, but I'll go with Dance Till Dawn, Darren. 1, 13, 8, and 2. Yeah,
like a big shout out to Matt Purvis too, his 100th winner over the weekend, and I think Chrissy Dalgetty and Cran Dalgetty with their 50th winner of their partnership. So there's been a number of wee milestones lately, some of them not always at Addington. So congratulations to those guys, and Matt grabbing that 100. I know that'll be special to him. Race number 3 is the Lamb and Haywood Mobile Pace 1980 at 6:17.
Yeah, one of the bets of the night, I think, hit the beach, building nicely the son of some beach somewhere, trained by Danny Allfield, comes up with Barrier 1, really unlucky last week, big, strong late finish in that Ferns Goldie race. I'm not too sure where it'll get to from that position, possibly trailing Eastwood Dream. Chris Lynn can go forward too, but just on that last performance, I think it'd be really hard to beat. Over Eastwood Dream and Chris Lynn, whichever one decides to go forward and grab the lead, although Vincent Vega might have something to say about that too. And the other one you need to consider, Darren, is Valiant Angel. It's got plenty of breeding about it. Has taken a wee bit of time at the trials, but Peter Baggery is a very good horseman. I'm sure he'll get the best out of Valiant Angel, a breed that the family have had good success with. 1, 3, 2, 5, and 7, either way for 4th.
Race number... Oh, that was race 3, Greg, wasn't it? Race 4, we're underway with now as a support the New Zealand Horse Ambulance Trust Trot, a 2,000-metre stand at 6:47. Very important, the horse ambulance on course these days. A lot of work being done behind the scenes by a lot of very special people to make that happen, including the sponsors plus the members of the trust. Really important to have it on course, and I think it's something that we all need to support.
Yeah, and I've seen it in operation, Darren. It's a fantastic thing. You know, horses get injured on track, and it's got a lift manoeuvre which can lift the horses up and not harm them anymore. And you know, it's just a wonderful innovation, and great to have their name associated with the 4th on the program. The Royal Gamble will be hard to beat. Has strung together some pretty handy performance in 3 of its last 4, including that last start second and behind Agui last week. I reckon the Royal Gamble will take all sorts of stopping in this one, although it is a 2,000-metre stand, so they're never easy races to line up. It's So Easy was fantastic last time. Had to get disqualified because it galloped too far, but gee, it's got a motor, this daughter of Majestic Sun. So put her in. Gina's Majesty's got good manners and is racing really well for Ian Cameron, and it was a real pleasure to do a one-on-one, which recently played this week. You can check that out at HRNZ or on YouTube. And Take Notice is racing well. for Lynn and Justin Smith. Tricky race, but I'll go 12, 4, 2, 14.
Yeah, Greg, as you say, the in-Cameron one-on-one was a terrific one. All three of them so far, Clark, Barron, of course, and Paul Renwick, all of hrnz.co.nz, and well worth having a look at. The in-Cameron one made me smile on a number of occasions, remembering the many of those horses that he trained over the years. Last leg of that early quaddie is the Paul Renwick Joinery 2-year-old mobile pace. A reasonable good-sized field of 12 2-year-olds going around here at 7:13.
Yeah, and you've got to have a look at the trial form because there's a stack of it in this. Race is dominated by the Wood End Beach base of Robert and Jenna Dunn, Darren Keast with a couple in there, Cran and Chrissy Dalgetty with 3 in there. So, yeah, you've really got to do your trial form because there's a lot of it. Who's Delight is a very smart animal, I think. My Better's Delight out of Cullen Who, so it's got plenty of breeding about it. Strong owners for the Duns involved in this one, and I reckon it'll be really hard to beat on debut. So I'll go with it over Major Happy, who's had a start, finished second behind Madame Delight, of course. It was in a stakes race here at Addington first up. So, yeah, there's a lot to like about it, and it has trialled and won a trial, beating Mystify Me. So it'll go well first up too. Mystify Me is drawn to its inside, and Judine is drawn to the inside of them. So I'm going to go 4, 3, 2, 1 in ascending order. But you've got to consider Coney Island Lou. Go and have a look at its trial. Watermelon Sugar, both of those from the Dalgetty barn. Yeah, there's so much to look into around this race and a lot of form. It'll be the Craig Thompson My Sky race of the week, I reckon.
Race number 6 is the Hydroflow Handicap Trot 2600 at 7:38.
Yeah, Enhine should probably win this. His first up run in such a long period off the track of a couple of years or thereabouts was an excellent one. That was in behind race rival My Moments Now. My Moments Now subsequently come out and run another placing. So, yeah, I think Enhine with natural improvement will be the one to beat. Quite like my Tuatana. History shows you that Paul Nairn doesn't trial them very often, but he's trialled this guy going into this, so and he won. So I think Tuatana might give Enhine something to think about this week. My Moments Now, because she's got a 10-metre start off them, and Mataderos, his first up starts off 40 metres. It won't be easy for him, though the small field will help that. And off the front, of course, you've got the Margot 9 pair of Madeline Stowe and the Fox, who had 4 years off the racetrack, Darren, and has now strung together 3 wins in his last 5 starts. So, yeah, really interesting go, race number 6 with Hydroflow, but you'll probably go each way Tuatana, I think.
Yeah, shout out to Margot 9 and Pete Davis, who give us a hand to get this race off the ground by adding Madeline Stowe to the nominations so that we could run the race. Race number 7 is the first leg of that late quaddie. TK Plastering sponsors here at Addington. Also have a sign in the back straight. Mobile pace 1980 at 8:11.
Yeah, it's Tyson Keats, the former Super Rugby player, and just loves the sport. Wanted to get in behind Addington Raceway, and his sign's right at the 3,200-metre start of the IRT New Zealand Cup, so he gets picked up a lot. And he's got a big crew on course on Friday night too, so looking forward to hosting them. I think Magic 4 can win fresh up for the Duns. Again, you need to go and have a look at that latest trial where he did finish second in behind Dance Till Dawn, but sustained a very long run. He's a Better's Delight colt that won the Sales Series up at Auckland. I reckon he's in for a pretty good sort of a campaign this time in, so I'll go for it on top. Cruiser last week. Look, he's got no speed, Cruiser, and when I say that, real change up speed. He's obviously got speed because he's run about a 55-mile rate when winning here at Addington. He is more than capable of winning this race, but there's only one way that he can beat them, and that's if he goes forward, Darren, and either leads or sits parked. He hasn't won since June last year where he did sit parked, and he was just a little bit too strong for them in the end. And if you watch his last 2 runs, he doesn't power home. He just glides to the line and gradually makes up ground. So if he's in front of them, they've got to run past him. I'm hoping that he might be able to get to that position this week. If he does, he can win. Monaco Grace from the Mark Jones team, another Sales Series victory it was last time, or one of those graduate type races. She's fresh up, but she has trialled, and Mark Jones thinks she's ready for a race. And Steph's boy first up run for the Court team. Graham's got this team going well at the moment, and Steph's boy is not without a chance either. Another good race though, 3, 8, 2 and 7.
Race number 8's Cup Week Hospitality on sale now. Fillies and Mares Mobile 1980 at $8.39, Greg, and just 6 of them going around here for $15,000, and a couple of them that were late noms. Pretty frustrating. There's a series of fillies and mares races coming, leading to open class sort of fillies and mares races. So we want the support. We want to run them. The industry keeps telling us they want to run them. We need 2 things. We need some horses to nominate for them, and we need them to turn up.
Yep, absolutely you do. And you're right. How often do we hear, oh, we need more of these types of races? Well, there they are. The races are there for you. Folklore Cheezel, probably the best quilella of the night. Sounds of Cash might have a little bit to say about that. Interest there with American Airtime, who's been in great form down south. Classy Link racing well, and First Rose is a quality filly. So good race. Should be an excellent contest. I'll go for Cheezel, who powered home in the National last week. Really strong late in the piece. In the hands of Zachary Butcher to beat Folklore. It'll be a real tactical affair, Darren, but yeah, there's a bit of quality in this, and every runner, all 5 of the runners, 6 of the runners rather, have got winning form in their last few starts.
Race number 9 is the XCM Sport Mobile Pace, 1980 at 9.06. Of course, XCM Sport do a lot of the drivers' silks, drivers' colours and things for a number of trainers, a lot of other promotional gear, and they're worth having a look at as well. And as I say, race 9 gets underway at 9.06.
Yeah, good race. Mobile will be a big assist to horses like Clyde, who will roll to the front. Sue Princess, who was outstanding winning last time. She probably had no right, but in the hands of Gemma Thornley, just powered away from them. look, she's now won 13, Darren. Yes, I said that. 13 races, Sue Princess, up over $130,000. So I know she can be an enigma, but if the right one turns up here, she'll be too good for them. She might have to come around and sit outside Clyde, but I think it's a pretty good chance of a Quinella. Mark Jones also has Hot to Trot in it. Hasn't been seen since running third in the Derby up north at Auckland behind Highgrove. So that's a great form line for this. And Prince Tekka probably doesn't get the advantage he normally does from a stand being a mobile, but he's racing so well, so you can't leave him out of your top four. But I'll go Sue Princess. I'm not going to say each way, Darren, because she'll either win or probably not place.
Race number 10, the last race on the card, First Direct Taxis Mobile Pace, 1980 at 9:32.
He has a flashing light on the top of the helmet of Move It On Over, or more importantly, Tim Williams, who was driving last week. Couldn't get a clear crack at them. The race won by Major Memphis. Bubba Scrub was second. So it'll be a pretty good form race, I think. So I think Move It On Over can win the last. Nice each way price. Best trio. I don't know that Barrier 1's the best draw for best trio. He can get a little bit rough in his gate early on, and particularly in a straight line, which is unusual, but he might find himself a bit further back on the fence than you'd like, so be wary there, punters. Off the second row, Cab Callaway was the last start winner and is now, of course, in the Jeff and James Dunn barn, so you'd want to consider it. And he's sent his excuse is a bit better than the form line might indicate, was disqualified in that Cab Callaway race last time. 7, 1, 14 and 8, best bets of the night. Hit the Beach race 3, number 1, and in that last race, Move It On Over, race 10, number 7.
Spectators, of course, open after the last race if you want to stay on for a couple of drinks, celebrate or commiserate. And some news that'll come up in the next wee bit of time about some music and things that are in there. As we say, all of the punting information, addington.co.nz, in particular by about midday on race day, includes a number of stables and things that we can use their Facebook page for. We're going to leave you with Mikey Maguire. I know we've already had a wee bit of fun with the Maxi Hub looking at that, but we'll show you the whole run to the line where that field closed up, and they were only spread over 3 or 4 lengths of the line, Greg. And as we said, a great interview on SEN with Fred Fletcher on the weekend that you guys did. A real top trainer with some top horses, and he's having a ball here at Addington. I think Mikey Maguire is going in the right direction to take his place on the second Tuesday in November.
For home from Terry. Heisenberg about to pull for his run. Hazer back to the inside from Steal the Show and Cheezel. Mikey Maguire leads. Hazer running on to the far side. Wider is Heisenberg, then Terry and Steal the Show. Mikey Maguire in front. Heisenberg flying with Cheezel. Heisenberg coming at Mikey Maguire, but he just wouldn't lie down. Mikey Maguire has held off Heisenberg. Third across either Cheezel or Hazer. Then came Smithy's Terror from Steal the Show, Folklore, DiCaprio, Terry. And the last of them across will be Classy Brigades.